Hey traders, checking in on the stock market today. So we had a rally out there led by QQQ, semiconductors, and growth. We have the initial start of earnings season with the financial sector. Let's check in where we stand and how our weekly charts are shaping up as we head into the final day of the trading week. Before we get to the charts, just want to answer an email. Someone sent me a question saying they don't have the time to trade on a daily basis. They're wondering if the Chart Guys members' cost is worthwhile and whether they should wait until they have more time to trade. And just wanted to respond here to everyone at once. So the two biggest benefits of the Chart Guys membership are the multiple live streams daily. We have at least 3 a day usually at this point, and the chat room community. And the benefit of the chat room community is that we have people from all around the world, and it goes 24 hours, and there is always something going on. So not only do we have the channels of beginners questions where people get their information right away when they ask, we've got the trade reviews where people post lessons that they've learned and things that they've gone over, and the individual sectors. So I didn't know anything about uranium, and we have a bunch of smart people who know a lot about uranium. I did not know much about commodities when I started trading. We've got a ton of insight. So what it helps is to have your eyes in a lot of different places. We want to be able to focus on a certain couple of stocks and a certain sector to have as our, comfy place, but we want to be able to branch out as well when there's opportunity elsewhere. So whether it's Canadian stocks or the crypto world, we certainly have people holding down the crypto fort when everybody in the US is asleep. So lots of information and lots of shared experiences, and really just people to talk about trading. I know a lot of people, trading can be a lonely thing, and having 1,000 people to talk about trading with really can open things up, because if you stay inside your head when trying to learn technical analysis and trading, it's a lot longer and a slower road. And so when I talk to people about, my path as a trader, and I say, this is where I was in year 3, and this is what I was doing in year 5, really anybody that's been a Chart Guys member for 2 years is easily where I was at in year 5. I did not have this kind of resource. I did not have this kind of information available to me. I was communicating with some people in forums, but it was the kind of thing where, you post something and then maybe tomorrow somebody will reply. Whereas here you post something and in 3 minutes or 15 minutes, someone's going to answer your question. So just a little bit of insight as to what we do here with the Chart Guys. On to the charts. So the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq both gave us a daily inside bar today, and the bulls with significant control for the most part, pretty much all day. We started the morning on SPY and QQQ, just watching a tightening range here, this little equilibrium that ended up breaking bull, and that set the tone for the morning. And we knew as that was shaping up, this is going to be important as far as direction, and obviously the bulls came out on top. So essentially the move that we got today was the move that I was looking for yesterday, and I was just too early. Yesterday, as I talked about in the video, I was looking for an hourly higher low to be the reaction to the CPI and to tighten up within that range. And instead, we gave it all back, and now we've got this tightening range. So the 4-hour time frames on the futures chart did hold a support, double bottom, and then broke resistance. But again, it's that high of the CPI number. And because we only have 4 trading days this week, tomorrow being the final trading day, it's a pretty important day because look at our weekly time frames. And if we form a green day tomorrow, we're going to have some bullish reversal candles on the weekly time frame shaping up on both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. So tomorrow's pretty key, and we know that we will have to confirm daily trend changes as well, meaning if we do see an inside bar bull break tomorrow, then eventually once we top out, we'll have to set the higher low and higher high to have confidence in that weekly higher low. But it's a pretty important day tomorrow, at least for me, as I am scouting. Again, the most likely scenario for me is a weekly higher low, and I'm looking on the shorter term time frames for information that is going to tell me that the weekly higher low is shaping up. And if, of course, the inside bar does not break bull, then the bears remain very confident in the short term. So essentially a green day tomorrow, at least from my perspective, would have, if I'm a bear, I would say, okay, I need to be cautious. We might be shaping up a weekly higher low. So we'll see what tomorrow brings for both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. And it's the kind of thing where looking at QQQ here with its solid green day, if we look at QQQ divided by SPY, again, because we want to know who is stronger relatively speaking, it's a big green day. And this is important to me because what we have been seeing is tech and growth and semiconductors lead on the big weekly bull move that we saw from mid-March to the start of April. They led to the downside, and now they're trying to lead back to the upside again. So I'm watching very closely tech, growth, and semiconductors, because if they start putting in a bullish correlation with the S&P 500, that will increase probabilities that a weekly high or low is being set for me. So overnight, what I'm watching on these futures charts is what is the retracement size on the hourly. So we can see it's a stair step on the hourly. And if it breaks bear, or I should say when it breaks bear, can we hold EMA 12? Can the retracement stay healthy? Because if we hold hourly EMA 12, we remain within striking distance of these resistances. And if we break EMA 12, that's when it's then a big enough pullback to continue tightening up for a while longer. So same question on both the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. What does hourly pullback look like from here when it takes shape? Semiconductors bounce underway, but a daily inside bar as well. 237.32 is a double bottom at the moment. We're holding that level, but we know we're just looking for a daily lower high to be the result of this bounce. We know we would have to get over daily EMA 12. So I don't even have to do my fib retracements here. I just gauge if the daily EMA 12 is resistant, it's a possible daily bear flag. We would have to get over daily EMA 12 for a weekly hold of support. And again, testing the fear lows while no other major sectors, no other major individual names are testing their own fear lows. So this is clearly our weaker sector. Tesla, bullish candle today, highest price in a few days. Again, look at the weekly time frame. Is this a weekly high or low shaping up? Maybe. We have to see a daily trend change back to the bulls to have confidence in it. So wherever this move tops out, anything under 1153 is just a daily lower high. And we then have to see bulls confirm a daily trend change. With earnings coming up, we just entered earnings season. So JP Morgan with the financial sector had earnings today, and we have more financial sector names over the next few days. Then we'll have the tech sector towards the end of April. But Tesla's earnings are going to dictate whether it is a weekly high or low. Again, if it's a bullish reaction, it's going to be a weekly high or low looking right back up at all-time highs. And if it's a bearish reaction, we're then going to be looking for an equilibrium to tighten up. So it's going to be an important earnings reaction for Tesla. XLF. So XLF is interesting. We had the gap down open on bearish JPM earnings reaction, but no bear follow through. So what does this remind me of? This reminds me of the exact opposite play when I shorted XLF for a swing trade because we confirmed a daily bull flag with zero follow through. The bull break of this daily bull flag attempt happened on a gap up open, and we then pulled back for multiple days in a row from there. So what is this? This is a daily bear flag confirming on a gap down with a close at the high of the day. Did we change the hourly trend to the bulls? No. So that would have to happen. But if from here, tomorrow or Monday, if we confirm an hourly trend change back to the bulls, I'm going to be very interested looking bullish because it will be the exact opposite scenario. And it will be a weekly high or low trying to shape up. But first things first, we have to confirm the hourly trend change back to the bulls. But just very interesting to me how exactly opposite those two scenarios are. Now, very curious to see how is it going to follow through, or if it is going to follow through. Healthcare sector, trying to shape up the daily high or low, still space to do so above 136.45. Pretty much a double bottom. We did break, but only by 13 cents. We need the hourly trend change back to the bulls, just like XLF needs. If we get an hourly trend change, the daily high or low is set. And then the most important question for me is, can we see a new all-time high? Or do we set a daily lower high, putting the uptrend at risk? First things first, we need the hourly trend change for the daily high or low to be set. But once it is, then we look for whether or not a daily lower high is going to shape up. IWM, daily inside bar. But again, we can see the strength here. So IWM today got to the highest price we pretty much matched the high of yesterday, which was the highest price in 4 days or so. So if we look at IWM divided by SPY, it's a notable bull move taking place over the past few days, showing it gaining relative strength. Is IWM shaping up a weekly higher low? Too soon to say. We need to see ideally an inside bar bull break and then an eventual daily trend change back to the bulls to have confidence in a weekly higher low. But again, it definitely stands out to me on days where tech, growth, semiconductors are leading the way for the bulls, because that's what they did on the big 3-week bull move up. We know they led the way for the bears the last 2 weeks. So the question is, it happened today, but is it going to happen consistently now? Is it going to happen for multiple days in a row where those 3 sectors lead for the bulls? Every day where that happens, it becomes more notable for me. Biotech sector, lead bull today. We were up 4% at one point, which is very significant. Again, the weekly candle is shaping up as a bullish candle, but we will need to confirm a daily trend change. Anything under 97.19 is just a daily lower high. Have to confirm the trend change once we top out on this bounce. But certainly a notable day. And again, it's the same thing. Look at XBI comparative to SPY, and it's the most bullish day since this pullback started. Most bullish day since April 4th. What happened to SPY on April 4th? It's when we rolled over and confirmed the daily downtrend, April 5th. So just little clues. But again, this is one day, and it would have to be consistent that these sectors lead the way back up. Who else are we looking at? We're looking at a couple crypto names. So BKKT, again, bigger picture, we've just been pulling back after a pump and dump, but sideways now. Multiple monthly inside bars and a weekly equilibrium. The price of Bitcoin definitely matters. What the Nasdaq is doing definitely matters, but it's a potential play for a weekly higher low off of 426. And then anything under 776 would just be a lower high. So whether or not, an aggressive bull is looking for an entry for a weekly higher low, but a patient bull can just say, all right, I'll keep an eye on it, and I'll just wait for the break. I'm not interested in trying to play off of support into weakness. I'll wait, and if we get a break, then I'll look to play momentum and volume and volatility. So there's 2 different ways to do it, but we haven't even changed the hourly trend back to the bulls yet. We almost did at the end of the day. But there's a lot of work to do to have confidence that weekly support of 426 is going to be able to hold. And with that, again, it just plays off support. Look at MARA on its daily chart. And look at this support zone. 1943, 1943, 51, and incrementally little higher lows. And bulls trying to hold another one here. If looking at it from the weekly perspective, it's a weekly double bottom. Actually, it wasn't a double bottom. It's a incremental higher low, incremental higher low. Can we form another one? And a big green day today, but still a ton of work to be done. But again, just keeping an eye on these names. I don't have any bullish positions in these crypto stocks, but if Bitcoin sets a weekly higher low at the same time as the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 setting a weekly higher low, then I will be interested in these crypto names. So essentially, this is just me reminding myself, don't fall asleep on these names, because if momentum is able to shift on weekly higher lows, these names will likely perform well. The dollar pulling back today. Again, any bull in anything wants dollar weakness. I shouldn't say any bull in anything. Any bull in stocks, any bull in crypto, they want dollar weakness. The metals are positioned really well if we can see some dollar weakness. They've been strong the last few days while the dollar is going up, and we know dollar weakness is only going to help. So what we need to see is the dollar lose 99.61 support. That little brief daily higher low, then we would zoom out and scout a weekly higher low. Just a little channel I'm keeping an eye on here. And again, the bigger picture, are we going to set a 6-month lower high compared to 103 or not? And we don't have anywhere near enough information to call it one way or the other. But I'm watching to see if we put in a temporary top to the dollar that leads to some further strength in metals, and we'll see how else that would impact crypto and stocks. But the metal's doing all right, even with the strong dollar. So just the continuation move here, nothing huge, but just the 4-hour slow and steady uptrend. Keep that going as long as possible. When we lose the 4-hour uptrend, we zoom out and scout a daily high or low. We know we are cautious of a weekly lower high being the more likely result of this bounce. But we're not worried about a weekly lower high as long as we are setting daily higher lows. So gold and silver, good day. Silver 25.85 resistance, still in play. Got to get over that level. But the 4-hour uptrend is strong. Miners with some more conviction now. So again, trying to eliminate the possibility of a rising wedge. Higher low every day for 5 days. And we've got 40.88, the current high. And going back to the next resistance level, there's 40.88. And then we're looking up at 42.63. And obviously the hope for the bulls is to get over 44.76 to get to the highest levels in a decade, which would obviously be extremely notable if bulls were able to pull that off. And lots of space for a daily higher low to form next time we consolidate anything above 37.80. And in the video yesterday, I pointed out the rising wedges on these commodity names and how BTU was giving confidence to bulls because it was a rising wedge that had a volume spike for the bulls and a strong close. Here we are breaking a rising wedge bullish, which happens in strong bull markets. So gold miners are looking at that and hoping that they follow through as well. Certainly a good step towards it today. And uranium, CCJ, still has these upper wicks, still is lacking the follow through, but those other charts giving some confidence. Still going to be cautious uranium, these upper wicks. But again, a lot of space for a daily higher low to form next consolidation. But BTU, nice follow through. Oil, nice follow through as well. 4-hour trend change confirmed with a little bull flag. Inventory report out of the way. Bullish reaction there. And shaping up the weekly higher low. And oil, when this pattern breaks sometime probably early May, maybe mid-May, it's going to be, ideally the tighter the better. I want to see one more lower high compared to 116.64, one more higher low compared to 92, and then give us a break in mid-May to spike that volatility in oil again. So lots to be watching. The burden is on bulls to prove that weekly higher lows are shaping up. Daily inside bars set today really need to break bull tomorrow for those weekly bullish candles to be shaping up. Let's just say that they do. If we see inside bar bull breaks, again, we know we need to confirm daily trend changes. We can have a nice big bull candle on the weekly, but if we bounce and then roll over, it's not going to mean anything. We've got to bounce and confirm the daily trend changes. So it's still a whole bunch of steps that the bulls have to follow through on. And we'll see if they can increase their probabilities with an inside bar bull break tomorrow. Burden is on the bulls. Have a good rest of your day. Appreciate you watching. Enjoy your long weekend. And do good things.